Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be doing a market overview over certain coins I don't really talk about that often anymore, but they are still relevant to the channel because I know some of my snipers like, to get updates from these coins. One of them is Dia. Ultimately, guys, it is the same thing with Dia. We are literally in hell right now, right? We are literally in hell. If I go on the weekly, we can see there is massive support over here, right? But since we fell through, that massive support actually turned into resistance. And, anything below here, I consider hell because we have to break through this price to really start flying. And you know what? I believe we will, right? We already had one attempt. We went back down. We had a second attempt. We went lower. And the more attempts we have, the the more likely we are to break, especially given the context of altcoin season and the bull run being around the corner. Technically, we have been already in a bull run for a while, but altcoin season, the peak of all the fun, is usually only 4 to 6 weeks, and that hasn't happened yet. So ultimately, with the right, we have just been retesting pretty much off of this high over here and this bottom over here, right? Going very, very nicely diagonally, looking to gain momentum to the upside. Once we break and kind of hold this dollar zone, we should actually fly high very quick. Now, before we continue with that, on the micro level, right? I don't really see this thing doing anything too crazy in terms of pullbacks. We could go back to 70 cents, retest this huge 4 hour zone over here, right? Before we continue pushing up. At the moment, there is no indication of that as everything looks pretty good. So if I were you and you're looking to be buying, more DIA, sure, you can buy it. Could there be another pullback? Sure. But it is what it is, It is what it is. If there's another pullback, you could always just get another buying opportunity. You can't be too stingy with prices. Who cares if you get in at 72 cents, 78 cents, 75 cents? I know technically you could also make a little bit more, but ultimately at the end of the day, selling is the most important. And you need to just have that kind of mindset when it comes to buying and selling. You can't be too stingy with buying, you can't be too stingy with selling. So look, right, once we break above a dollar, we actually should fly high fairly quick to all the way to 50, right? 255 is where we should kind of start topping out temporarily before we do what we have to do, get some kind of correction and pump up. Once we break through to, 27, 250 area, we will fly extremely high because there is a lot of imbalance, which means there's no real support and resistance, which means we should fly all the way up to here of $4.40. Now, that is my conservative target for this coin because there is an institutional weekly candle over here. Now, I do think DIA has the potential to go higher, but as you know, this is just a quick review for multiple coins. So we're going to jump up to other coins. XDC, very, very similar boat to DIA, other than the fact that it is not in hell. It is just in a scenario where it is in a pullback stage. Actually, this is more similar to Hbar and XRP, right? They all kind of have a similar pattern like this. They're just going in a diagonal, type shape, type form, looking to be breaking out of this diagonal consolidation zone to be pushing up and continue going higher. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't advise buying coins like this right now because they've already had the one big pump, while some other coins have had a decent pump or are still chilling. So if you want to make the most amount of gains, I would personally stay away from XDC and HBAR. Now, if you're already in them, right, because you bought lower or you just bought recently, you will still make money. You just can't expect, 15, 20, 10x gains from most of these coins, right? HBAR still looking good. I already thought this coin was going to hit a dollar before. My bias is still the same, right? It's kind of same thing as XDC. We're just in this diagonal type formation, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, we will hit a dollar or more. You could buy now, or you could go into this order block of 27 cents. Other than that, we would jump right to XRP, right? We'll jump right into XRP, literally the same thing. So if you're a person that believes, the market makers aren't really a real thing, then I don't know what to tell you, because there's no way, all these coins have the exact same type of pattern. There's no way people like us are literally buying and selling at the exact same area, creating literally the most identical pattern and shape you have seen. But look, right? Similar boat. We go into an order block, right? We could see a little bit of sell off. We do have this imbalance. So we could be getting buying, we could be buying roughly at 210 as our final prices. Ultimately, I would stay away from XRP if you're trying to make the most amount of money. If you're already an XRP holder, don't worry, things are looking good. We could definitely hit $10 this cycle, right? Because I believe we will still have one of those big pumps. Why? Because XRP was in this huge consolidation zone and phase for literally like many years now. I don't know, 8 years now. So it is ready to explode and create new highs above 350. And we can see we broke through this massive triangle, right? We broke through this massive triangle, which is also one, it's accumulation. We broke through, boom. Now we are creating support roughly at $2, which is roughly near these weekly highs right here, right? And the next step is to get to the all-time highs, probably a little bit of sell off, and then one final pump, you know, trying to reach $10. Now, institutions might sell a little bit before because they know people are going to be targeting that $10 spot. Raydium. Raydium is looking fantastic. You know, I am high on Raydium. There is literally so much imbalance over here. Price should start flying high very quickly once we break through the last relevant highs of pretty much 650, 660, right? We should start flying high all the way to 1050. So if you're a Radium holder, there is no reason for you to sell. We did break this trend line recently and we have held it. We created support over here. You could buy potentially at 490, or you could buy right now. It doesn't really matter. If we go on the 4 hour, things are looking fairly solid, right? We have more support over here. We could get a nice little pullback. This is the kind of looks like a breaker structure. So we could definitely pull back down to 530. If it continues to break, then like I said, 490 is where you would be looking to buy. Now, Flux, I don't know if I talked about Flux in one of my other videos, but we'll talk about Flux here. Flux is just ultimately in a consolidation zone, right? Things are looking fairly good for Flux. I believe it's going to be one of those coins that just kind of pumps very, very quick, right? It's not really going to do that much over the next couple months, start recovering, and then it's going to have a big, big bang, kind of like Filecoin always kind of had, right? Filecoin for many, many days and weeks kind of goes sideways, does this, right? Starts to go up, and then before we knew it, it just went to the damn moon. That's what I expect with Flux. Start recovering, and then once altcoin season happens, it is going to, depending where it is, 8 to 12x from there. Now, since I'm on Filecoin, might as well talk about Filecoin. I believe Filecoin will actually do pretty decent this bull run, mainly just because of where I see institutional candles. On the worst case scenario, $22 flop, but on a realistic level, I think we could hit upwards of $60, which is over 10x, right? All I do is just look for institutional candles and plays. Now, I do think in a best case scenario where things get manipulated all the way to the max and we have so much money, we could all go all the way up to 160. But I know that's technically a reach, but in terms of technical analysis, it is not impossible, right? Because I would not be surprised if institutions are looking to cash out over here and then drop the price once again. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.